What is up, my Friday Fivers? It is, 5:20 Friday night, so there's a high likelihood that you are not watching this till Saturday or even into next week, but it's been a busy day. Started with the closing up in the Poconos and a couple new prequels, so hey, it is what it is. Just trying to stay consistent. So just a quick highlight of what we're going to cover this week. First, mortgage rates. Second, a little bit on credit scoring and credit reporting. Third, the median age of a first-time homebuyer as reported by NAR. And then fourth, sometimes life happens, bad things happen to good people. We're going to go over a couple of those details, and then a quote of the week. So let's jump right into number one, mortgage rates. Again, these are national averages from Mortgage News Daily. VA 30-year fixed 5.92%, FHA 30-year fixed 5.90%, conventional 30-year fixed 6.32%, conventional 15-year fixed 5.77%, and conventional 7-year ARM 6.01%. So we have seen rates stay pretty steady in that high 5, low 6 range. Next week, I'm going to dive in a little bit more to what might happen next year with rates. But for now, it's good to see that we are staying stable in the high 5s, low 6s. Number two, when you apply for a mortgage, one of the most important pieces of the puzzle is your credit report and your credit score. But here's something most people don't realize. That credit score is literally a snapshot, one moment in time, taken on the day and the month when your creditor reported to the credit bureau. So think of it like a photo. Whatever your balance, payments, or accounts look like on that specific day is what shows up. Even if your credit card has a new balance tomorrow or you make a big payment next week, it won't change on the report that we see that we already pulled for your mortgage file. This is why sometimes people see their score move up or down later and they wonder why their lender's number didn't change. It's simple. Lenders don't use a moving or constantly updated score. It's a static score. It's that one snapshot in time. So if you're preparing to buy a house, remember your credit report isn't a live feed. It's a time-stamped picture. And the cleaner and more organized things are around the time we pull it, the better your score is going to look for us and for the mortgage process, and the better rate you're going to get in most cases. Number three, the National Association of Realtors published their annual report recently, and the median age of a first-time homebuyer, drum roll here, 40 years old. This is an increase from 38 years last year, and it's an increase from 33 years old just 5 years ago, back in 2020. So if you think about this, if you bought a house when you were 33 back in 2020, you were the average home buyer, and your friend, who was also 33, chose not to buy a house during the COVID craziness, there's a decent chance that your friend 5 years later, who's 38, still isn't a homeowner. They still haven't hit the median age. So it's a lot of interesting data in this annual report that NAR put out. So if you like to geek out on statistics, check out this link. I'm going to drop it in here. Number four, sometimes life happens, and that means bad things happen to good people. So if that's you and tough life events have led to a bankruptcy, a short sale, foreclosure, a deed in lieu of foreclosure, I want to give you some hope and some details on when you might be eligible for a mortgage after one of these events. So let's start with bankruptcy. If you've had a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, you are typically eligible for an FHA loan 2 years after the discharge date. For a VA loan, also 2 years. For a USDA loan, it's typically 3 years from the discharge date. And then for a conventional Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac loan, it's usually 4 years from the discharge date. Now, if you had a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, then typically you are eligible for a lot of these programs after 12 months of on-time payments as part of the payment plan that you set up with the court, but you do need court approval. And then on USDA and conventional timelines, they also are going to typically consider successful plan performance in a Chapter 13. If you've had a foreclosure in the past, you typically need 3 years from the completion or recording date for FHA, and that's when the property transferred out of your name. For VA, it's typically 2 years from a foreclosure. USDA, 3 years. Conventional, typically 7 years. There are some exceptions, maybe down to 4 if there was special conditions or extenuating circumstances, but that isn't always possible. So usually after a foreclosure, conventional loan is a little bit tougher, is a little longer waiting period. And lastly, short sale. So for FHA, it's typically a 3-year waiting period, VA 2-year waiting period, USDA 3-year waiting period, and conventional 4-year waiting period after a short sale. So again, there are other programs out there that may allow you to qualify earlier, some specialty products, but these are kind of the traditional timelines. And have hope you can be eligible for a mortgage even after a bankruptcy, foreclosure, or short sale. And number 5, the quote of the week: if you fell down yesterday, stand up today. That's from H.G. Wells. So sometimes we don't have the best days. You feel like you're discouraged or got knocked down, get back up and go make today or tomorrow a great day. And you're probably going to get knocked down along the way again, but just keep standing back up. Thanks for watching, friends. If I can help you in any way, please reach out.